Mike Johnson was reelected to Speaker of the House in the first round of voting after we just had a couple of holdouts. We knew about the Thomas Massie. There was no chance he was going to come around. This guy was too thick-headed. He made his statement clear that no matter what happened, he was not going to vote for President Donald Trump's pick of Mike Johnson. But we did have two other ones. We had Keith Self and we had Ralph Norman, who did not vote for Mike Johnson originally. Then it seems like they went into the back room. President Donald Trump put the phone call in and said, guys, get your shit together here. They came back out, changed their vote. So the first round voting was changed back. And Mike Johnson becomes the Speaker of the House. So the stage is set right now for 2025 here. President Donald Trump, we know. J.D. Vance, Vice President. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Senate Majority Leader, John Thune. Now, I know MAGA World was not excited to have, number one, John Thune. They wanted to have Rick Scott. Donald Trump is the one that said John Thune. He got John Thune. MAGA World did not want to have Mike Johnson. Donald Trump said Mike Johnson was his man. And that is who we have now. So we have got to rally behind these guys. This is the last chance to save this country. So these are the four guys now that are in the position. God be with us. What happened at this thing today, though, too? The Democrats, they start the year out, first day, lying. They can't help themselves. This dollar store Barack Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, this loser gets up there and has to, of course, they have to try to make it about themselves. They have to make their little highlight, their little viral video. Well, this guy's going to go viral for it, and it's for all the wrong reasons. Because he gets up there and tries to say, like, oh, we need to all come together. We're not Democrats and Republicans. We're just Americans here. Let's work together. And then out of the next sentence out of his mouth, he throws a dig at the Republicans. Look at this shady character and what he does. What a hypocrite. Watch this.
It's time for us to come together, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans, to get things done for the people. There are no election deniers on our side of the aisle.
There's no election deniers on our side of the aisle. Well, Hakeem Jeffries himself, if we turn back the clock now, just to let you know, there's like a 25-minute video available on YouTube of straight Democrats denying the elections. But here's Hakeem Jeffries himself denying the election after he just said there's no election deniers on our side of the aisle. Here's the phony fraud Hakeem Jeffries himself denying the election.
John Lewis is completely right. There is a cloud of illegitimacy around the election of Donald Trump. The Russians interfered with his election.
No surprise there. Hypocrite city from the Democrats. Expect more of this as the year goes on. We know they're going to do everything they can to stonewall President Donald Trump. We have them against us. What we don't need is any more self-inflicted wounds from the Republican Party. And so it looked like we were going to have that starting out of the gate with Thomas Massie. If anybody was on board with him, this thing would have took a long time to get done. But of course, Hakeem Jeffries there, too. This guy's failed to become speaker like 20 times in a row. I think he holds the record for most times, failing to win the Speaker of the House after being voted on. So anyway, we have to rally behind the picks that we have. Now, I spoke with Andy Biggs a few weeks ago. He made it clear to me that there wasn't going to be any kind of fight, that we were going to get Speaker Johnson in, and that's exactly what happens. Here was Andy Biggs on with me on the Alec Show just a few weeks ago. So what's your take starting in 2025? Are we going to be looking for new leadership in the House? What do you think it's going to be? Are we going to get behind Speaker Johnson?
Well, I think that we don't want to distract from the agenda, right? And so I think Speaker Johnson is going to be the speaker. I think we're going to basically push him as hard as we can to enact the agenda. And I think he's going to have to do it. And he can't, in my opinion, it gets back to right back to where you and I started. And that is, he's going to have to enact the agenda and tell people who say, well, I can't do that in my district. You're going to have to do it, even if your district doesn't like it. And then we're going to protect you on the wings. But this notion that, hey, we're going to have this fight, I just don't think that that's where everybody's head is right now. We just don't want the distraction. We want to put pedal to the metal to get this agenda going as fast as we can.
Now, Andy Biggs, he remained silent the first time his name was called. So I was kind of like, wait a second here. What's going on with Andy Biggs? Why isn't he voting? A couple of other guys remained silent, didn't say anything when their name was called. And then after the first round, they called the names again. Andy Biggs, one of them. Andy Biggs called for Mike Johnson. So it did work out the way that he did say when he was on the program here, that there wasn't going to be any, they didn't want to waste any time. This is about getting Trump's agenda. This was the thing, especially to somebody like Thomas Massey. This isn't about you. This isn't about your personal feelings, whether you like my, this is the guy Donald Trump wants. This is the guy Donald Trump gets. The American people sent Donald Trump to the White House with this mandate. And that's the fact. That's what it is. It's Donald Trump right now. Either a vote against isn't a vote against Mike Johnson. It's a vote against Donald Trump, and that's what these people are doing. So I'm just grateful to see that the cooler heads prevailed. I'm surprised it even took a phone call from President Trump to get this done. We want to see the exact same thing take place next week when it's time to start affirming his nominations for all these cabinet positions from the Senate. This has got to go straight through. Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, all of these picks from Donald Trump have got to be confirmed on the first go. And that's it. Don't waste any time because you're not going against them. You're going against President Donald Trump. And we have got to save this country. It's the last chance we're ever going to have. And we see how the way things have started already here with 2 terrorist attacks already in 2025, and God knows what's coming our way. So we've got to get down to it. Now, the highlight of the day, I would say, in Congress here when this is all going down was the absolute, bullet that we dodged here from not having Kamala Harris be the commander-in-chief. Here's the woman that the Democrats were saying is the best choice for them. She's going to lead the country. Here's Kamala Harris today making an absolute fool out of herself and the party that she represents as she led Congress in the Pledge of Allegiance. Take a listen.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the United States of the United States of America and to the...
This was the woman that the Democrats wanted to be president of the United States, doesn't even know the words to the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, this is what happens when you miss out on that morning mimosa, maybe. Maybe she was in a little withdrawal. She didn't have that, what's it called, Bloody Mary this morning. You know, wherever this woman is right now, there's a cocktail in her hand, okay? This lady has got to be shot. I mean, she's got to be just totally fried in the brain. The Democrats basically put this woman through the mill. I think they hung her out to dry. Anyway, she was a terrible candidate who nobody voted for, and every time she gets to open her mouth, she makes a fool out of herself. She did so again today. One of the other highlights, I guess, today was from this dollar store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries. He thinks he's a smart fella, but he's really a fart smeller. Listen to this comment.
The American dream possible. We will fight hard. We will fight hard. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote.
Yeah, so instead of going viral for his great, hey, let's kumbaya, we need to come together, after he contradicted that, he went viral for his fart comment there on the House floor today. Anyway, this is the way it is. It's Friday. We got a Speaker of the House now in Mike Johnson. I'm going to do my best to get Speaker Johnson on the Alec Lay Show. I'm going to do my best to get as many people now as the year has kicked off. You guys that have been following the show. I had 132 guests join me on the Alec Lay Show last year. I'm going to see if I can beat that score this year. I had so many different members of the House and so many different members from the Senate join me on the Alec Lay Show. I'm going to do my best now to start sending out these invitations, inviting, if you have a guest suggestion for the Alec Lay Show, new episodes are going to drop on Tuesday, beginning on Tuesday on Rumble at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not following me on Rumble, get over there and follow me. Let's get it done here. Like I said, this is our last chance to save the country. The stage is set. Trump, Vance, Johnson, Thune. Let's make it happen. Let's hopefully we can support Donald Trump's America First agenda. We got Speaker Johnson in the House. Let's make America great again. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You're listening to the Alec Lay Show. The future is family.